Religion is a fraud, and that's why people die every day from lynching. Religion, yeah, I do agree. Before the white people came, we were not even Christians. So we had our own religions, we had our own cultures, our own tribes. They came and colonized us and brought Christianity to us, forced us to be Christians, and now that they've left, we're still like acting like Christianity was something that we created, and it's all like it's our be all end all. People, I think people don't realize that if we were never colonized, we would not be Christians. But like you guys act like this is your calling or your mission in life. If white people didn't step foot in Africa, we would still have our own religions and our own beliefs. And a lot of our belief systems were actually very tolerant. Homophobia was never a thing. You had like stories of kings who used to have who were bisexual, having like boys and girls and stuff. Like you guys do some reading and educate yourselves. Yes, because even now in deep African villages, there are women who have girlfriends. Yeah, for sure. Like this whole homophobia thing is really like was born out of like hyper Christianity and hyper Islam too. Most cultures in the world were never really as homophobic until the white people came and like colonized everywhere and forced their religions on other people. Just the same way you guys like to force your Christianity on us, doing the same shit.
Nobody. Christianity Christianity was not forced on us in Africa. You know. First of all, let me let you know something. This guy is gay, actually. So that's the reason why he's actually coming out to say this bullshit. He's actually gay. You said stories. He said stories of kings that were bisexual. Is it your grandfather? After all, you said stories. You don't even have any evidence to support it, and you just spit trash. We should be grateful for where we've arrived, because if we still practice, you actually should be the person to actually educate yourself, because you should actually educate yourself, because if today in Africa we still had those African religions, those African cultures that you are trying to justify, trust me, you particularly, you probably, one of these African cultures would have probably killed you, because even African cultures frown against um homosexuality stuff. African cultures frown against them, so you cannot sit here and actually say things that you don't know. If we still practice African cultures today, there are so many freedoms you have. There are so many things we do today that we would not do. In fact, back then there were African cultures that eliminated that killed twins. So if you were twins, there were cultures that actually killed twins. There were cultures that did a lot of ridiculous things. If a king died, somebody must be buried with the person. If a king died, any stranger that comes into the land in that period, the head will be the person will be killed and the head will be taken and will be buried with the king. There were so many weird things people did, and they called it their culture, their tradition, their religion. So, but when things like Christianity, Islam came, those things we actually really cut down on, and you cannot. Today there are a lot of things we can do freely. We can go wherever we want to go, and these things don't affect us anymore. But you are here, you are trying to justify. We should be grateful to God for Christianity, because it has really changed a lot of things. Because if not for Christianity, trust me, there are so many things you cannot get away with, man. Because certain cultures, certain religion frown against certain things, and the punishments are always very, very brutal. They cut off the heads of people. So many cultures in Africa practice slaughtering of animal, human rituals. There were just so many things that the African culture did that today we will not even be comfortable with it. But thanks to like Christianity, most of these things were abolished. So you cannot sit here and tell us that if Christianity didn't come, yes, if Christianity didn't come, we'll probably still be practicing all those cultures and traditions, but we are grateful we are not practicing them, because many of those cultures and traditions are messed up. They are traditions of people whereby if the husband of a woman dies, the woman is automatically given to the brother as a wife. Like if her husband dies, the husband's brother will automatically take over the wife. These are cultures in Africa, in Nigeria, you know. And you don't know this thing, you just sit down and you just want to make a podcast and you just say a lot of stupid things there. There are cultures in Nigeria, for example, then whereby if a visitor comes, the wife would offer her body to the husband's guest, like literally have sex with that person. Yes, this was an African culture in Nigeria, somewhere in the, I think in the southeast or south, you know. So there were so many cultures, so many things whereby, okay, if we come to the west, here in the west, there is this they still even do this one today in some areas, Oro, the Yoruba culture. You go to some community, they do what they call the Oru. I don't know what they do, but there is usually this, you cannot come outside by that time. If they catch you, they could flog you. In fact, I even heard of the story of a girl they actually killed. You know, a girl I know actually told me a girl was killed somewhere in Badagry because she was outside during Oru. Now, this was a person that she doesn't live in the environment. She came to actually see somebody. She came to see her boyfriend. So, due to traffic and some other things, she actually arrived there late. So, she was waiting at the bus stop for the guy to actually come and pick her up. And these Oro people, and you know, they killed this girl. They killed her. So, there's so many things that is wrong with the African culture that we should be grateful to Christianity for. So, you cannot sit here and because you want to justify the fact that you are gay and you start saying stupid things like this, man, it doesn't even make any sense.